Welcome ladies and gentlemen, Subayil here. In this video, I will cover the Warren Buffett's overall portfolio update, and I will also provide a solid overview of the new stocks which he added to his portfolio recently. I will cover these stocks in enough depth so that you can gauge the motivation of Warren Buffett behind buying these stocks. This will also help you in doing your own research so that you can gauge if these stocks would be a good fit for your investing goals. The reason of some of the delays in this video are due to the government rules. The 13F report comes out 45 days after the end of the quarter in which the stocks are purchased by an investing firm, hedge fund, or any other institution. Also, I had to do my own research before I provide not only a solid holistic picture of the way the portfolio of Warren Buffett has evolved, but also give you insights into the new companies which made it to his portfolio in the last quarter. So we will start with the Buffett's overall portfolio update, and then we will see which new stocks Buffett bought and why. So let's go ahead. So currently Berkshire Hathaway has a cash of $69.98 billion. This is not something very significant since Berkshire Hathaway has been sitting on significant amount of cash in the past also to take advantage of the market downturns and buy solid businesses that are victim of market sentiment and whose stocks are trading well below their intrinsic value. The current $69.98 billion of cash is around 30% of his overall portfolio, and if we look back, at times Berkshire Hathaway had even more cash in percentage terms as compared to now. But of course, $69.98 billion is a significant amount of cash. Overall in Q4 2021, around 95% of the Berkshire's portfolio remained unchanged. So it has been difficult for Warren Buffett to find good businesses whose stocks are trading below their intrinsic value and where he can also inject a lot of cash. We can see that the prices of stocks have gone to stratosphere, and not only the growth companies are highly overpriced and trading way above their intrinsic value, but also it is the case with the stocks of established companies like Apple, Google and Microsoft, etc. For example, just look at the PE ratios of Apple, Microsoft and Google, which are the companies that lie within my circle of competence. They are all trading at PE ratios of well above 20. Same is the case of Amazon. So the options for Berkshire Hathaway are quite limited. It would be very difficult to find businesses which are fairly valued in the market and where they can take a 5% or more stake in the business and invest around $5 billion to buy its shares as an investment. So in essence, finding businesses with a market cap that is at least in the range of $200 to $400 billion, which are also fairly valued and have solid financials and moats, is a daunting task in this bull market. But let's go and see what he bought in the Q4 of 2021. The total portfolio increased from $293.4 billion to $333 billion as we went from Q3 to Q4 of 2021, and that is a $37.4 billion increase. That represents a 12.8% increase from the Q3 of 2021. At the end of Q4, the total number of stocks in the portfolio were 44, and at the end of Q3 2021, the total number of stocks were 43. 3 new stocks were added to the portfolio and 2 stocks were removed from the portfolio. And the 2 stocks which were removed from the portfolio were Teva Pharmaceuticals Limited and Series XM Holdings Inc. And the 3 new stocks which we are going to talk about later in this video are represented by ticker symbol FWONK, ATVI and NU. And it is also good to observe that there has been only one change in the top 10 stocks of his portfolio in the third quarter of 2021. DaVita Healthcare Partners ticker symbol DVA, which was sitting at the 9th spot in Q3 of 2021, has now gone to the 11th spot and is no more in the top 10 holdings of Berkshire Hathaway. Its percentage in the overall portfolio dropped from 1.43% to 1.24%, and the 9th place in the portfolio is now occupied by Chevron Group, which occupies 1.36% of the total portfolio. Therefore, the top 8 stocks, which make up 87% of Buffett's portfolio, remained unchanged. Overall, Berkshire Hathaway bought 7 stocks in the Q4 of 2021, and out of these 7 stocks, 3 stocks were added to the portfolio for the first time, which I just mentioned. In the grand scheme of things, the 2 stocks that were removed only represented a 0.23% of the overall portfolio, so it is not a significant change in the grand scheme of things. The removal of Series XM holdings and dropping Teva Pharmaceuticals out of his portfolio is not that surprising because he has been selling the pharmaceutical stocks quite a bit recently. So this is a broader industry kind of bet, like the airlines that he is now backing away from. So the last quarter he sold out of Merck and he reduced quite a bit in AbbVie and Bristol Myers Squibb. So there is kind of a trend there, and that trend did continue into Q4, but I didn't see the Series XM sell coming. That is America's big satellite radio provider, but I honestly do not follow this stock because it is not within my circle of competence. And let me mention that it was only a 0.09% change to the Berkshire portfolio, so this one would have been way down in the list, and it represents a very minor change in the overall portfolio. So Merck was sold out completely and ABBV was sold significantly. And now let's have a look at the new stocks which Warren Buffett added to his portfolio. So the first company is Liberty Media, that has many types of shares. I have no idea why they would have so many different shares. Anyways, Warren Buffett bought the FWONK shares, which is an abbreviation of Liberty Media Corp Formula One Series C. And looking at the market sentiment for this, it is very bearish as compared to the overall industry average. So these shares represent ownership in the Liberty Media's many different businesses. And the FWONK shares represent ownership in the Formula One business of Liberty Media. So the negative sentiment is quite shocking to me, since Formula One had a great 2021 with viewership growing very fast. Therefore, I believe Warren Buffett must have done his homework. We know that he buys when the people are afraid, and we can see that the share price is plummeting. Therefore, I am sure that he and his team bought these stocks well below the intrinsic value. Here are the actual numbers. Leading global racing league Formula One turned in a strong 2021. Formula One Group announced that viewership for its 2021 season was 1.55 billion, up 4% year over year. So as I mentioned, the viewership of Formula One is exploding. Here are the actual numbers. The season finale in Abu Dhabi drew 108.7 million viewers, the highest mark for a race on the season, and up 29% from last year's same race. The season opener in Bahrain had 84.5 million total viewers. Several countries posted strong growth in viewers, with France up 48% year over year, Italy up 40% year over year, and the United Kingdom up 39% year over year, which is a tremendous achievement for the Formula One brand and shows its dominance in this space. Moreover, the Formula One Netflix series Drive to Thrive has been an enormous success, and it has increased the viewership of Formula One immensely. And with very close championship of 2021, as well as the new regulations, Formula One popularity seems to be exploding, and Berkshire Hathaway wants to ride that wave of growth. Overall, it is a 0.04% of the overall portfolio of Berkshire Hathaway and represents a small piece in the overall jigsaw puzzle, since it is at the 33rd position in the Berkshire portfolio. And the next stock which Berkshire bought is Activision Blizzard, which comes as a big surprise to me, since Warren Buffett might not be a big fan of playing Call of Duty with his grandchildren. Activision Blizzard is one of the most prominent video game developers in the world. Its team envisioned titles like Tony Hawk, Call of Duty, Pro Skater Crash Bandicoot, Diablo, Warcraft Overwatch, StarCraft, and of course Candy Crush. Microsoft has shown a lot of interest to acquire the company lately with $69 billion. But before this news spread, the stock plummeted due to the reports covering the toxic corporate culture and sexual harassment in the company. Due to this, the stock took a nosedive and went down 45% to reach a 52-week low of $57.28. The highest price reached by Activision Blizzard Inc. ATVI stock during the past 52 weeks was $99.18. So the stock was trading well below its intrinsic value when Berkshire Hathaway took advantage of it and bought the stocks before the news of Microsoft acquisition. Activision Blizzard represents a 0.29% of the overall Berkshire portfolio and is number 24 in its list. I see it as a brilliant value investment since irrespective of what they paid for the stock in Q4, they bought it well below the intrinsic value for sure, and therefore the future growth potential of the company is enormous. And since they bought the stock, I believe they are already up over 40% on the stock. And the third stocks Berkshire bought in Q4 were of the Brazilian fintech company called NU Holdings Limited, which is engaged in providing digital banking services. It offers financial services such as credit cards, personal accounts, investments, personal loans, insurance, mobile payments, business account, and rewards. All of these services are provided to the customers via their innovative digital platform. According to the Wall Street analysts, NU Holdings price is currently undervalued even now. NU Holdings market cap is $35.36 billion. And this purchase is interesting in the sense that the company went public recently and it is a hyper growth company. Normally Warren Buffett stays away from companies that are in such early stages. They have grown from 3.7 million customers in 2018 to nearly 50 million customers in Q3 of 2021. That astronomical growth in past 3 years motivated Berkshire Hathaway to pocket its stocks since the future growth potential is even massive. I have personally never seen a bank growing that fast organically. And they have amassed millions of loving customers without spending much on marketing. They have succeeded in providing credit cards, bank accounts, and other critical financial services to over 5 million people already. And many of them became a part of the financial system for the first time. In other words, these people have obtained a bank account and credit card for the first time, and this has been nothing short of life-changing for these people. So NU Bank definitely has the first mover advantages, which will give them a significant competitive edge in the future. Over 650 million people live in Latin America and the growth prospects of NU Holdings Limited is enormous. That is the very reason due to which it has backing, for example, from Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway, Tencent, SoftBank, Tiger Global, and Sequoia. So that is all for today. If you found this video useful, please don't forget to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm and consider subscribing. Your support will mean world to me. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. You all are awesome. And as always, I will see you all in the next video.